So SkySaga's already got a load of UGC tools to let players make cool builds for each other. We want to make those tools even better, so Alpha 9 will feature an interactive prop system, which represents the first steps along a long road of very cool toys.
It allows players to take their creations to that next level, allowing players to create content that is reactive and responsive to the player's actions.
It allows players to make a layered gameplay experience. You can have fun in builds that look pretty or are sort of stylish, and that players have to, if they're playing a special game mode, they have to learn the rules and manage it themselves. But interactive props lets you actually script that into the game.
I think interactive props bring the world alive to an extent, especially with the user-generated content. I think it can take someone's fantastic castle and make it into a fantastic castle that's very much alive as well. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes all the time, and sometimes it's very noticeable and sometimes it's not. I mean, there's a lot of graphical enhancements going into the game at the moment, which means it's much more beautiful than it's ever looked before.
We've done a huge amount of work under the hood to allow us to expand an interactive prop system over time. It means that there will be some tools available in Alpha 9, but it does mean that there's going to be even cooler stuff in the future.
We have a starter set of props going in for Alpha 9. We have the pressure pad, whereby you stand on it, it sends a signal out through any outgoing connections.
So you might have a pressure pad that's linked to a door, and when you step on the pressure pad the door opens. Or you may have a switch that turns on a dart trap.
If it's networked, when it receives a signal it will fire. When it no longer receives a signal it won't fire. But if it's not networked at all, it will just fire anything that walks in front of it, really, which is quite funny to see, but also quite dangerous, so you might want to tread with caution.
There's going to be slippy ice, there's going to be sticky mud, and they're all going to change the texture of the way that you explore the environment.
I like the delay prop in combination with the door trap. You can set little time delay puzzles, or you can have the door close after somebody's gone through it, trapping them into a room so they have no choice but to go forward or to solve a puzzle to get back out again.
With these new props, I expect that people's home islands are going to become so much more complicated than they are now.
It gives players control over the rules of the game a little bit. It's just the start just now. We're just building the basic foundations of a system, but this system can grow over time.
It gives more and more options to the player, especially when it comes to manipulating other players that visit their home islands. So we've got races, but we've also got mazes that people have been building.
I quite often myself set up little puzzle rooms with a series of pressure pads and dart traps and doors, and having the door open up one after another, so you've got to quickly solve the puzzle before you move on to the next room, that kind of thing. I'm interested to see how players can go beyond that.
When we take it out to the community, they come up with really interesting other uses for props. So things as simple as an iron ladder they can use as portcullises, which we never thought of, and works really well.
I think the wonderful thing about the props that we're bringing out is that I don't know what to expect from people. It's fascinating seeing what people come up with, the stuff we've put in so far.
The coolest game mode I've seen is Sheep Ball. So it's a game mode where you've got a sheep in the middle and a goal at either end, and you've got to hit the sheep into the goal. That's just so much fun.
And they'll take props that we use to make ceilings and roofs and things like that, and they'll make other things out of it, and they'll be fantastic, and we'll sit there going, we never thought that would be used in that way, and that's what's so special about it. Some of the interesting props coming out soon will be the text-based props. These include signs and even letters that you can place in the environment to either give instructions or perhaps just say hello.
I'm looking forward to more output props in the future, lights and sounds.
So players will be able to orchestrate some sound effects or write some music using them. So that and the lights, it's going to be a sort of disco wonderland.
The creativity of the community is always a surprise, and it always comes up with stuff that I would never have thought of in my wildest dreams. The possibilities are limitless, and I'm sure the community will surprise us.